This is An Infinite Path, spoken word essays by Niles Heckman, some of which go on to become our documentary short subject films, half of which release freely here through the podcast, all of which can be found through your support at nilesheckman.com. A definition of karma is a force created by a person's past actions that is felt to determine future outcomes, action and reaction. In fake spirituality, it can certainly be used as an easy excuse for claiming unprovable things, with statements like, "Oh, that happened for sure because they had done this in another life," or "let them be poor because they were rich in the previous life," and similar others, proof of which is conveniently impossible to concretize. Not to mention being an easy-to-claim cop-out excuse to not have to work to improve some obvious problem at either a personal or societal level. How convenient. However, regardless of one's thoughts on reincarnation, we have come through our personal development to feel there is a validity to karma and its correspondence to cycles of life, especially when looking at it from the standpoint of devolution and evolution. A viewing of an instant karma video on the internet where some dude with a tiny rotten brain is driving like a maniac and then, as a direct result, proceeds to fly off the road and crash their vehicle seems proof of single-life karmic consequence. Yet it does also seem like certain people who engage in unhonorable or downright deplorable behavior get away with it for extended periods of time, if not their entire lives, doesn't it? This is where things get a bit murky, difficult to lay down the rules, if you will. Acting as though character traits that one expresses in their life are the result of our accumulated past lifetimes of various experiences does help structure life and support a mindset that we could be in corporeal form on Earth with unfinished tasks, and that those unfinished things are part of our karma. For perhaps our souls have incarnated in the physical to learn lessons that are still part of our evolutionary framework, which we have yet to have learned up to that point. So challenges are presented to us which, prior to that point, we have yet to overcome. Rinse and repeat. Hard to say for sure, but if we think of the whole of material creation to be likened to a rehabilitation center meant for helping a soul to rediscover its nature of divinity, and one of the mechanisms of creation is to help facilitate a soul's development being karmic, then through it, selfless actions uplift a soul, while selfish actions degrade it. The results of both selfless and selfish actions are expressed over a series of life cycles, as a soul comes to understand how its actions affect those and the world around it. Karma can be said to be the ultimate educator. Theoretically speaking, if one takes their karmic lessons seriously and strives to act selflessly, not being selfish, perhaps one can continuously progress their status of existence and gain more soul maturity. We may also think of our experiences in life as just but one chapter in a much larger book, a text which can't be read entirely through only one life, for a single life may be only a chapter or only a single page, and multiple lives comprise a whole prose, making up a long-form book of life. What parts of the map we've already explored and what pages of the tomb we've already read. Through the full evolution of our life, all of our lives, the whole book if you will, it would make sense that the story must involve doing it all. Having all experiences, being all things, mapping all polarity. For through many cycles, be that at hundreds or thousands, we may have initially started out being very immature and have leaned toward doing a majority of bad things, and as we have evolved, that gradually entails later doing a majority of very good things, with the horrible slowly transitioning to the noble. All part of the process of progression, with a karmic tapestry being woven to be a map of which we have explored every inch. If, however, a person chooses to commit one selfish act after another, and in extreme cases when forward motion has already been made, can be squandered, especially in regards to what that personal mental structure had neglected to learn from the past lifetimes. For it has also been said that there will be bad karma, baggage if you will, worth redeeming, and good karma also having value for being worth acknowledging, neither of which can be fully run away from. We see this in figureheads that seem so deplorable, one cannot fathom why they have a platform, let alone thousands if not millions of folks who support them. It's because those who are soul young are attracted to others who are soul young. Hence they are mental babies or toddlers in grown-up adult bodies, as there is a common immature inclination to avoid anything that causes unpleasantness for the individual. Yet cause and effect, a Hermetic principle, pushes back on this, for we can think of it and karma as balancers or harmonizers, being generated by deeds, conduct, actions, and it could even be said, thoughts, all of which make up a soup which can have a great deal of influence in regards to family, health, resources, and all relationships, personal and professional, with even various flavors to this 7-layer fractal cake being something like soul, national, racial, world, etc. Whatever the slate, facing and resolving karmic consequences is forward progress and is inevitable. Delaying or outright avoiding the learning from these lessons is only going to slow the gears of evolution down, but can never and will never fully stop them. Acknowledging karma and taking responsibility for it is a huge step into maturity, for it takes courage and sophistication to look at our faults and face them. Because karma is habit-forming, creating patterns in mental behavior, it can be very difficult to make and follow through with better choices, even if one is conscious of wanting to do so. But we must push through, and one's willingness to work at doing so is a sign of soul maturity. An individual's acceptance and acknowledgement of forward karma over multiple lives is said to produce positive thinking, and without karma existing, we may not necessarily grow to be the most masterful version of ourselves. To progress, not regress. To expand, not contract. All designed to not tear us down, but instead to build us up, to make us greater. Even if everything stated here is all bollocks, acting like it is the case only improves one's behavioral patterns in the long run. Actions such as making conscious choices, forgiveness, acceptance, gratitude, humility, and the general golden rule are all aspects of karmic software which may help run our living operating systems, highlighting that we have created and continue to create our lives. Nothing happens to us, it happens for us. Welcome to Karma Cafe, where there is no menu and you will be served what you are due.